say that the average person has around 65,000 thoughts in a given day. 65,000 thoughts? Really? In a given day?
When I first heard that, I thought, that sounds awfully low. I feel like I have 65,000 thoughts in a given second. My mind's expansive, outlandish, no longer damaged to manage. Dismantle the doppelganger that tried to debate my bandage. See, I finally found that tool belt to work to my advantage. Like at first I was like, useless mind, but now I'm like, use this mind. A mile a minute, a bit of hypocrisy. Dennis the Menace, that was in '84, the day before. Aborted these questions, so many more. Kids in my class were like, why do you care? A panda's a bear and they eat bamboo. I'm like, yeah, how did you know that? And where was your proof? How come they all knew the answer so soon? But then it made sense. I switched up my lens. Abierto mis ojos azules, my friends. So I open my eyes and I move and I bend and I groove and I tend to my visceral needs. Serendipitously, so prolific, eclectic, intuitively. I'm a leopard disheveled inevitably. I'm a leopard disheveled? I'm a leopard disheveled inevitably. I take words and work magic so effortlessly. And you've got Shakespeare, right? The OG poet. He's like, to be or not to be, that is the question. And then you've got me. And I'm like a modern zeitgeist day poet, like, to decide or deceive. Pet peeve, but believe. In the reckless, forbidden breakfast, I'm smitten. And so was Eve, I guess. The solo trees impress. A roly-poly sketch of a scoundrel all dressed up and decked out. The fact that you sell out is why we are different. A teapot with no spout. All spawn out and sprung out. This offspring have found out on SoundCloud. About to count your blessings out loud. Oh, wait. Out loud? Or is it allowed? That's A-L-O-U-D. Or allowed. That's A-double-L-O-W-E-D. This cloud of double entendre, my mantra, the meaning, intrepid and seeping. I'm breathing the words of this lexicon in a complex hexagonal-like fashion with 6 straight points for no actual meaning. Are you kidding me? I'm mean. I'm nice with vices and disciples in my head, bred not from earth, but from air instead. Aquarian water bear, you heard your head. Not did you hurt your head, but did you hear in your head, not following a herd, individuality must come unperturbed. So be yourself, and know that I am not my mind, and neither are you. And my body is only an arbitrary design, inclined to lead me to deceitfully believe that it too is me, and that it defines what I do. Spoken word poetry, for me, wasn't something that I thought, oh, I'm going to go do that. I mean, I went to college, I went to school. It was to study other things, to study sociology. It wasn't about being a poet. I probably am a disgrace to the poetry community. I haven't read many great poets out there, but it was something that found me. It was the only way I was able to describe the way that OCD felt internally to me. I couldn't understand why I had to tap certain things a certain way, blink a certain way, and then things were better and nobody would get hurt. I didn't understand what these things were, these ritualistic behaviors. And somehow, through writing out what I was feeling, there was like this precise cadence that allows me to get it out, and all of a sudden, it's perfect and I'm fine and everything, I can walk away. And me being behind the scenes, sharing my art form when I'm not even on camera is even better because I'm even more authentic, because certain parts that are like repeating, rhetorical, it's like repeating, rhetorical, fast, pejorative, contorted, distorted. Norman Bates was far from normal because that's what it feels like in my head, and I'm trying to portray that to the viewers. I'm trying to portray something authentic about what it's like really living with OCD, because we think of it as maybe in a boxed thing. You organize your hangers, you do this, you're really neat, you wash your hands. It is so much more, and intrusive thoughts are something that I guess I want to bring to the world, that I genuinely believed that these were my greatest detriments, and I truly believe today that it's one of my greatest attributes. I figured out a way to literally dance with the corks. So all these tics that I was having and these ways of running away from my thoughts, I was able to somehow portray in poetry something I didn't study, something I didn't even know there was a word called spoken word. I didn't know anything about it. I'm just trying to share something authentic so that maybe there's one or two people out there, which is enough for me, that might relate and find freedom in the fact that you can do something with your quirks, because your quirks are your greatest attributes. That's what makes you interesting. And you got to do something with them, and you got to give it out there to people and flip it, and don't be limited by it. I've had a lot of people ask me what it's like living with obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, diagnosed severe at one point. Man. What's it like living with OCD? That's a loaded question. Having OCD is like, I can't get the bed sheet right. It's like the duvet is too heavy on one side. It's like my sock, it needs to twist a hair more toward my big toe. Like my underwear strap grabbed my right hip uncomfortably. It's like I have permanent tics, but not bugs, but twitches in my body. It's not about even numbers. It's about feeling internally even on all parameters, accounting for every scenario, even the blood splatter. So if I bump into a wall, then my opposite side has to reconceptualize that same situation so I can release my exhale. It's like I have to disinfect my own toilet seat. But it was never about germs, but about the pressure of disturbing imagery threatening my existence. Repeating, rhetorical, incessant, pejorative, contorted, distorted, norm invades is far from normal, needs a parent advisory warning. In the morning, my morning never ceased to leave. This constant wedgie feeling, something stuck, hedgehog poked and plucked, the last ounce of energy I had to check. But something deep within me got up and checked again. And again. And again. And no end. With my pen penciled in how to mend, recommend my past 10 thoughts, pretend panic in. ERP, CBT, BRB, TNT, I blow up, it's just me, Rocketeer, I'm up here, heading down, clear the air. Prozac, Zoloft, Risperdal. These are meds that I've tried. Be gone, Giadon, Salulatura. Abilify in my pie, Lexapro, happy no, help me though, do not fast go, Monopoly, Bon Appetit, and Apronol, this appetite. My tongue is ripe, a tri-tip steak, so tri-tip with a tricyclic antidepressant. And maybe it'll all go away.